Hi everyone, Cindy Squirrel here from Squirrel Mills Farms. Today I'm going to do a recipe. It's to do with the Dundurn Castle recipe challenge. The hashtag is actually just hashtag Dundurn Recipe Challenge. Dundurn Castle's in Hamilton, Ontario, and they've been doing this challenge every month, and people submit the recipes that they do. And these recipes are from the 1800s and that, and they're fun to do. It's something to do during this COVID. This one is called Very Fine Cocoa-nut Macaroons. Cocoa-nut is cocoa spelled like chocolate, cocoa. Um, and it says to rasp a fresh coconut. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to buy already bagged up coconut. Hope that's okay. And yeah, it says rasp a coconut and then spread it on a dish or a tin and let it dry gradually for a couple of days. They probably didn't have coconut any other way back then. And then add to it double its weight of fine sifted sugar and the whites of 8 eggs beaten to a solid froth. And then you just place that in, you just ball that up and put it on your cookie tray and bake it in the oven. Did you just hear what I said? 3 ingredients in this macaroons: coconut, sugar, egg whites. No sweetened condensed milk, no vanilla extract. So this is going to be different. I guess in the 1800s, maybe vanilla extract wasn't readily available, and they probably didn't have cans of sweetened condensed milk or evaporated milk or anything like that. So this was just a simple cookie recipe, macaroon recipe, and let's try it. Now the first thing is to separate the egg whites from the yolks of 8 eggs. And these are farm fresh eggs, so you can see they're a little dirty. So some people crack it and then you go from shell to shell, but then the white is touching the outside of the egg, which means that it's touching poop and whatever. So what I do is I just throw it in my hand and just open up your fingers. And we will keep the egg yolks. I'm going to freeze those. I'll make a custard someday out of them. But we're going to do that with 8 eggs. And when you're whipping egg whites, you have to make sure that you have no contaminants. This is a clean bowl. There's no sugar or anything in it. And make sure there's no eggshell or any piece of a yolk in there. They just won't whip up properly if there's anything in there. So we want 1/2 pound of coconut. And now remember, it called for a real coconut, and you grate it, spread it out on a cookie sheet, let it dry for 2 days. Sorry, I went to town and I bought unsweetened coconut. So 1/2 pound is 8 ounces, which is, as you can see in this measuring cup here, it is like 2 cups, okay? And it says now double that weight in sugar. So that would be 2 pounds of sugar, or 1 pound of sugar, sorry, because you're doubling a half and a half is a whole. So there we go, we have 1 pound of sugar, which again is about 2 cups. So it's 2 cups and 2 cups, more or less. But you're going by weight here, and we're just going to mix those together, pour them together, stir that all up, and then we're going to go over and we're going to whisk vigorously our egg whites until they form really stiff peaks. and then I'll see you again then. Okay. And when you pull your beater out, you look, and if that peak is there and stays there, that's called a stiff peak, because it's staying where you want it to. Okay, so that's perfect. Now you've gone to all that work to put all that air in your egg whites. So you are going to be very gentle. You don't want to take a spoon and, you know, knock all the air out of that. So you're just going to do everything. You're going to fold in. You're not going to beat. You're just going to fold it in. Carefully. You're not stirring, you're folding. Gentle as you go. Okay, so we've got it all nicely folded in. We were gentle. We've kept a lot of the air in there. And I've got a parchment paper lined cookie sheet. And I think I'm going to try an ice cream scoop with this. See how that goes. They might be too big. No, I think that's going to be a good size. They seem to be a little runny. Thought they might have been firmer than that, but then again, it is only egg whites, so egg white, sugar, and coconut. So I'm going to put these all in the cookie sheet. Now this is my second batch out of the oven. You can see, because I could only do one batch in my oven at a time, I had put these on the cookie sheet and was waiting. And you see the darker? That is where the egg whites separated, and it was liquid around there by the time these got put into the oven. So I think next time I would only do a half a batch, because by the time I put the last ones in the oven, there was a lot of just liquid egg white in the bottom of the bowl. And another thing I forgot was I did not grease the parchment paper. So they are stuck on there, which is no biggie. You just roll your paper. You're going to lose a little bit, but so grease the parchment paper next time. Only do half of a recipe so that they're not separated by the time that you get them in the oven, unless you have a great big ass oven, you know, that you can put 3 cookie sheets in at a time. I do not. So there's the finished product of the Dundurn Recipe Challenge, Cocoa-nut Macaroons. They came out very nice. I don't know if you noticed that I didn't put as much sugar in that I was supposed to, that it was called for, because I never do as I'm told. And instead of the, what was it, 1 pound of sugar, which was 2 cups, I only put in 1.5 cups. So I don't know if that would have made them higher or not, but otherwise they are very delicate and very sweet cookie. And I was thinking, if you had like a bowl of melted chocolate, you could like dip your half of that, and it could be half chocolate. Would be a nice little bit of difference. But there's my Dundurn Recipe Challenge.